Hey, Grouch Potatoes, it's Jim. Just on my way to work. Just dropped off the boy at his grandmother's, so as I do every day, because daycare is expensive and my mother-in-law is awesome. We didn't do email last week, so I thought that I would take a minute to answer one email that I thought was pretty good. It's from a friend of the show, Steven. Steven says, as someone who's never gone to a con before, are there any points of con etiquette that you can offer? And yes, there are a couple of very, very important points that I can offer. First one, very basic. Bathe regularly. I know it sounds ridiculous, but a lot of people go to cons and they walk around all day long and they sweat and get funky, and there's the smell of other human beings and the shitty food and all of the stuff related to being in a room with 60,000 people. Bathe. And I would say bathe more for your own sake than for just for your con goers, although your con goers will subconsciously appreciate it. There's a very common occurrence from going to conventions that people call con crud, and it's usually this underlying malaise / illness that comes from a couple of different factors, and one is definitely people's tendency not to bathe enough. And actually what it is, it's a result of lack of self-care at a con. You're so involved in everything that's going on at the convention, you're having so much fun, you're so engaged, you're so enthusiastic at the con that you forget to take care of yourself. And there are lots of ways to avoid con crud, and one is to bathe yourself every day. Get the con off of you. Another one is to wash your hands frequently. Even if you're not touching anything, you're touching things. You don't realize you are. The little bottle of hand sanitizer never hurt anybody. It actually helps quite a bit. So I would do that. Etiquette-wise, understand, especially at larger cons, you are going to be bumping into people. People are going to be bumping into you. It's expected. It's common. All you have to do is very basic courtesy. You bump into someone a little bit, just say, excuse me. 9 times out of 10, you'll get a response like, it's cool, you're good, thank you, and you move on. But do it. Because someone who bumps into you and just moves on is an asshole. Okay? And I believe very much in karma. You're an asshole. If you just you bump into somebody, just excuse me, or hey, I'm sorry. And on the flip side, if someone bumps into you, don't get mad. Don't get upset. Understand this place is crowded as shit. Just, hey, it's cool. Or you're okay. Or no problem. If you see somebody at the con, another piece of con etiquette, if you see someone at the con that appears to be suffering, physically, if you see someone that they just don't look good, walk over, kindly ask them if they need help, and if they're like, no, I'm fine, go, okay, I was just checking. 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go, thank you very much. Often they're gonna say, they don't wanna, they might be feeling like garbage, but don't wanna make a scene or or they're kind of in self-denial, but when somebody goes, hey dude, you look like you need help, they'll be, that would be great. Other pieces of con etiquette. There's a bunch. Well, we'll go to the ones that you hear about all the time, but they certainly are worth being mentioned. You'll see ads all over the place for it. Little cold brew. Cosplay. They'll say that cosplay is not consent. It's true. Almost every cosplayer that you will come into contact with will be more than happy to take a picture. Either with you or you take a picture of them. They are there to display their creativity or display their fandom. They're usually okay with you taking a picture. Just ask. No big deal. If they say no, move on. Well, okay. If they're rude about it, which they won't be, but if someone's like, fuck you, no, okay. Don't, in general, if someone's rude, don't compound it by snapping back or anything like that. You don't know what's wrong with that person. Maybe they're not feeling well. Maybe they've had a bad con. Maybe they're cosplaying and they got, inappropriately touched by somebody. That's another thing. If you're in a cosplay, if you're taking a picture, for example, and you want, you think to put a hand on somebody or put an arm around somebody, make sure you ask them, or just don't do it. There are ways to do that. It's about consent. We've had this discussion a million times in the show. You've heard it. People have said it to their blue in the face. I'll stay. That's about as much as we can stay off of it. If you see untoward shit happening, don't play superhero unless someone is in immediate danger. If you're seeing untoward shit happening, take a note of them and find a con official and be like, hey, this guy's a douche. So they're everywhere, by the way, con officials. Or you can go to someone at a booth and just point them out and be like, hey, this guy's being a douche. They'll report it to a con official. Speaking of booths, don't try to haggle. Con booths are not Moroccan bazaars. Don't ask for, freebies if they're not, openly offering them. Don't try to haggle on a price. They have set prices. That's what you're going to pay. Decide then and there if you want to pay for it or not. I have seldom, if ever, seen haggling work at a con. That was me fucking up driving, by the way. Sorry. So there you go. Other con etiquette. A lot of ums today. Sorry about that. Oh, I thought I had more in my head. I should have thought this through before I did it, but fuck you. It's free. We got bathing. We got self-care. We got consent. Oh, yes. Eating. If at all possible, try to eat in designated areas. Just kind of plopping down and eating. I don't know. Just plopping down anywhere is not always the best thing. Although you see it all over. I guess if you're not in anybody's way, you're fine. Maybe that's just a bullshit annoyance for me. There should be seating all over. Like, there should be a place for you to sit. But if there's not, I guess find yourself a corner and sit on the floor. I don't know. I'm too old for that shit, so I guess I'm just a grumpy old man when it comes to that. And I openly admit that I'm a grumpy old man. If you listen to the show at all, you know this. I'll tell you what, if you guys can think of more rules to con etiquette, we're hitting 10 minutes here, so I'm going to take off. And I'm almost at work. Give us a shout at Couch Grouches on Twitter and Instagram, couchgrouches@gmail.com. Drop us a line, and we'd love to hear from you and list those. Talk about them. And that would be great. I know some of you are, very regular convention attenders, so I would love to hear more of what you have to say. So thanks for listening to this on that. And on another note, I want to wish my fellow Couch Grouch, Gonzo, a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. I believe it's his 30th birthday. I just want to say, I love you. On behalf of myself, on behalf of Jamie, and on behalf of Peter, we love you, and happy birthday. And I'm very glad that you are my friend, and that we get to spend time together, both at this stupid podcast that we do and other things. So, all right, that's going to be it for me. Hope you all have a great day. Fuck on, audience.